I said just. You know I said just.
Oh man, you need some headphones, bro.
You know I said just. You know I said just.
like the smoke in my lungs. You got me feeling so numb. Oh, all I felt was you. I was out of my mind. You were killing me inside. Yeah, I know the truth. I know it's that I think of you. I'm losing sleep. I don't know what it is you do. The moment that you walked into my life, I started to fall head to toe for you. No, I just can't get over all the games we played. I lose myself in your abuse. You split my heart into two. You split my heart into two. You split my heart into two. You I cannot replace, memories cannot erase. No, I don't know how to. What we started for fun got me feeling so numb. I feel just like a fool. I know it's that I think of you. I'm losing sleep. I don't know what it is you do. The moment that you walked into my life, I started to fall head to toe for you. No, I just can't get over all the games we played. I lost myself in your abuse. You split my heart into two. You split my heart into two. You split my heart into two. I got enough of every melody. They all sound the same. Yeah. For my broken heart, no remedy. But maybe if you stay, we can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Ooh. Oh, my darkest memories now let me fall back. But you'll be there, ready to rescue me if I go out of track. You can get away with it. 'Cause you make me love my imperfections, answer all my questions, just to show me what's on the other side of inhibition. No apologies, my baby. I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so good. Yeah. What's on the other side of inhibition? Ooh, I do you do 'cause I'm feeling so cool.
Your footsteps on the stairs. If I listen hard enough, they're still there. And you think I'd know better by now. phone. Help me to pretend that I'm not alone. And you think I know better by now, but I still drink until you're next to me again, baby. And I still think that in the morning I might wake up next to you. Empty bed and empty spaces in my head. Your sound, your taste, your memory is all that's left to fill this empty, fill this empty. But I still drink until you're next to me again, baby. And I still think that in the morning I might wake up next to you. Empty bed. Your smell, your taste, your memory is all that's left to fill this empty, to fill this empty.
And gentlemen, welcome. I am Curtis, and I was joined here by the wonderful Vincent as we're getting ready for some good old Counter-Strike action. Europe is back on the cards here as we've got Team Disrupt taking on Emotionless in the regular season.
That we do get some intermediate action going, and Emotionless coming in as a team with a couple of games played. They've only played two, actually, a win
two.
and a loss, as it's not been the greatest of week on the Team Disrupt side. A very tight loss on Tuesday, that one going 11-13 back on Inferno,
So
but
close.
still looking to bounce back on this one, Team Disrupt, as we get into this 1-2 on the season.
Now 1-2, but they haven't looked bad. I mean, we didn't get to see their other game that they had played, the 13-10 loss, kind of season opener that they did play up against the Tipsy side or whatever. But hey, they've been looking good. There's a lot to like about them, but they're still kind of ironing out everything right now. Now we do have the rosters here tonight, and there is a bit of an omission in the fact that we're not going to be seeing Flan. Flan is not in tonight. Bronix will be taking that spot for Team Disrupt. And then for the side of Exclusive, we got Blazehop, 12-2P, Exclusive, 322 God, which that's a name, and Teo.
Sorry, that's 888 Teo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get it right. Thank you.
My bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to get the details. Anyway, crazy name, 322 God. Just for the record. I'm gonna address it right now and then not address it in the future. That's the way we're gonna handle it.
Exactly. That's how you gotta do it, right? You just gotta rip the Band-Aid and just talk about it now and just worry about it later. But we do have our map just kind of getting ready to go here, and well, we're going to Ancient. This was something where Emotionless, they played it twice thus far, and they're gonna be playing it again. And so it's kind of not that big of a surprise given everything that we have seen, but they're playing the comfort pick as we can see.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, after talking with Sabi just the other day, I don't think that this is a huge surprise or like a problem when you're talking about where Team Disrupt are at, what they want to do. Definitely Ancient in the realm of reason in the map pool, if you will, to jump into. So I think that they probably pretty happy about being here. I think the real question is obviously missing Flan. How is Bronix gonna do? And in general, I think that it's not so much about Bronix and what he's capable of. I think it's more about what we saw that Flan was capable of and the lack of firepower that we're going to see probably here today. So, for Team Disrupt, I don't want to sugarcoat anything. It's an uphill battle, but I'm excited to see how they handle things without, one of what I would consider, based on just that one game, what may be, a big star on this team. Definitely something. I mean, Sabi was not eager to like put that type of pressure on Flan, but like from what we saw, definitely a huge piece of the puzzle here.
Yeah, but without further ado, we've got a game to get underway. Ancient is, of course, the map, and we're already in the midst of the pistol round here as we do just kind of jump straight into it here. It is going to be a couple of early kills going the way of Emotionless on the T side. Disrupt will be starting things off on the CT side. Bomb plant will be going down by Blaze Hop, and it's a 4 versus 3 post plant.
Yeah, but doubled up coming in through Temple. Certainly going to be a chance at this. Blaze Hawk in a 4th position, catching one man not looking the right way. Now Blaze Hawk moves elsewhere. Bronix gets his. Sabi as well continues forward. There's a kit involved. There's a smoke as well down onto the bomb. Got to get that kit on top of it. Low HP, and there just isn't going to be time. The kit got dropped in the process. Wham finally is going to grab that back up, and they just do have enough. Great work for Disrupt as they find themselves a victory on the pistol round from a disadvantage.
Yeah, you're down by a player. You're kind of stuck to one choke point, and that's pushing out of Temple. But Emotionless, they did leave things fairly open to allow Disrupt a bit of the space to kind of push themselves out. Sure, they did have somebody watching from A main, but it is kind of a long-range fight to be taking, especially with a Glock as well. And the USD with the greater one-tap potential comparatively will make things a bit difficult trying to take it down. But Disrupt, they get that pistol, but it's going to be Emotionless immediately back for the force fly, and they've got Mac 10 ready to go. Smoke for the Molotov. Ganter just swinging up, trying to fight, and does get Wham on the first. He's going for more with that FAMAS, but ultimately he's traded out by KRS. A bomb plant will be going down, but it's a horrible retake, and KRS is continuing to do damage.
It's beautiful timing for KRS. Maintain some long control. Sabi continuing to maintain cave positioning as well. Disrupt have all the correct pieces of map control to make this happen. Sabi in a little bit of a pickle. He's actually going to get one. That's 12, who's pushed short. Isolating on these fights. Ronix with a nice shot, and it's through the smoke that he completes the second as well. Disrupt. These retakes looking mighty fine as we jump into this Ancient 2 straight retakes. Emotionless getting themselves a bomb down both times. That might encourage them to force buy again.
Yeah, 2 bomb plants in a row. It's at least a positive sign for Emotionless, but it looks like they might just be taking this on a bit of a deco approach. We do see all 5 deagles being pulled out here for the T side. So they're not going to be going for the full force buy, but they're at least putting a little bit into this one. Try and see if they can pick up some cheeky headshots and maybe even get a bomb plant down. Disrupt, I have, like you said, the retakes have been very good. And the thing is that even when problems have arisen, like someone gets caught, from behind or something like that, they have been able to quickly adjust and just kind of get the trades that they need to in these rounds. Now, for the main part, it's going to be about keeping everybody alive here, especially on this round 3 where Emotionless are just kind of sitting on Desert Eagles and want to keep the rifles up as much as you can.
Yeah, I think particularly making certain to have the key pieces of map control that are required. Thinking over towards A, it's about temple control. Over towards B, that's about not losing short. Oh, Bronix, that's unfortunate. He gets blinded by his own flash. Honestly, don't know how that flash blinded him. It felt like he was so far away from it. Eyes averted, but no.
They do know town control has rarely an exclusive. What a shot, and manages
What?
2! 3-piece now in the round for exclusive, and now Disrupt, they're in a bit of trouble. Down in a 2
Bomb
versus
site.
4. Yeah, and that bomb plant's going down. Ganter going to get that planted. Wham and AVN rotating.
There's a world where you could argue for a save here, but I like the motion to go for this. Both guys have a kit. There's 1 flash remaining on Wham's back. Double up inside of cave. It's going to be tough to break. Blaze Hop's going to get back in there. So now 3 cave side is a little bit scary. Missed shot first time. Wham providing coverage, isolating another one, knows where a third's at, and then it's late cave. AVN just gonna stick on this defuse, out of time, missing shots. Wham's defense, it's beautiful. That's ridiculous. Disrupt get away with murder. Blaze Hop too little, too late, gets all the kills but loses the round.
Don't put Disrupt in a retake scenario or you will lose has been the kind of notion for the first 3 rounds here. Goodness, what a defense there from Wham to just kind of play the defense. And sure, even if Blazehop gets the doubler at the very end, Disrupt, they got the round out of it, but they didn't keep everybody alive. They kept nobody alive at the end of that round. And you can see that they're going to be hurting for it. The economy is in shambles for the most part. Bronix does at least have 3,200 to just kind of fall back on, but the rest of the squad, they are on pennies comparatively, while Emotionless, that was an eco, and they had basically all the success that they could have wanted apart from the round win, and they're going to get the op, the AK, they're getting all the fixins for this round.
Yeah, I mean that's the bonus, I guess, of doing so much damage on a pistol buy round. But thinking about what probably should have happened, Emotionless still going to be kicking themselves that they weren't capable of winning that. Some big missed shots from the ramp player and Blazehop. I mean, I said it when I was seeing his positioning. He's just really late to that situation. He didn't think he would have been necessary, but he was. Exclusive gets an op out. Looking towards elbow, not going to take that fight just yet, though.
I feel like the util setup here early from Disrupt left them the opportunity to kind of take some of this early B main control, clear things out, make sure Emotionless haven't gotten extra aggressive in the early round here, and does kind of force them to kind of stay honest here in the early round. Now, this has kind of come at a bit of a cost. They have lost their mid control, as Ganter will be pushing out with Blazehop, and Disrupt, they at least have a counter for this, right? We do see that Sabby is just kind of playing back towards Red Room and just kind of holding for mid, so they at least have all their bases covered, but I think Ganter is all the way up here. They could pinch on this B main play before the
Critical to stay alive there at Ram, can't do so. Isolate another one. Exclusives trades are excellent. 1 for 1, and he gets the kill on the exit, so Wham doesn't escape. KRS goes down, AVN chasing down with Savvy. He's now the last alive, and he's only alive for a moment. Exclusive finalizes that victory. A swift shot, 3 out of the op from Emotionless.
comes back of 3 out of the Deagle from Exclusive as well. So, you know, kind of back-to-back rounds. Exclusive has been just really getting in there and doing a lot of the damage, the heavy lifting to get these rounds off the ground for Emotionless, and now it pays off, right? You get that first round on the board. Disrupt will be forced to an eco, and this game can be tied up rather quickly now. That Disruptor just kind of broke in terms of the economy. Bronix is the only player with a gun, and that's the M4A1.
And the fact that this is a force buy is also, you know, a little bit painful. Counter nade utility for mid control was beautiful. Does a lot of damage, converts onto a couple of kills. Blazehop doing a great job in defense. Grabbing a double.
Whoa!
Oh boy!
Plan.
That's bad news. 322 God gets caught, 12 the same, and just not at all checking for Bronix. That is a huge oversight.
Yeah, especially when you have such an advantage as well, that 4 versus 2. You know, you have over a minute on the clock. You're not in a big rush to get that bomb plant down. Might as well just try and take some time, get the angles all clear before you commit to a play like that. But what we're dealing with now is a 2 versus 2, but Sabby is low in HP, 4 health. A bit of a tough angle to try and do a ton of damage, but now
Lovely
Cubby,
reposition.
this is a great reposition. Swing does lose out, and Blazehop, great peek out. Knows exactly where to look, and that's going to be Emotionless. They do at least recover from the stumble.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of great to not great there as well for Disrupt for a second. The reposition was actually perfect. That's exactly what they needed to do. The, you know, just doubled up at ramp was just not going to be a great spot to be. Unfortunately, Bronix needed to swing off of Sabi instead of vice versa.
Right.
So a little bit of an error makes that round a whole lot less winnable. Granted, a little bit more damage done. Doesn't change the reality that Disrupt Force Bot, they got really nowhere. So that damage is honestly the minimum. Getting 3 kills. Emotionless going to be happy with that. What they're not happy with is losing Ganter for a moment there. Into a tech pause, hopefully briefly. get Ganter back already, but this should be a save for Disrupt. And yeah, I mean, if you look at their money, there's just not a choice in the matter.
Unless they really wanted to go for the dollar store special, pick up some MP9s and body armor and just run it down. But I can't imagine that they'll be pulling out silver matchmaking tactics in a game like this. But so far, Disrupt not in a bad position. The save here will at least allow them the money to go for a buy in the next round and just kind of allow them to pick up where they left off. But Emotionless, given the money that they do have, the weapons that they do have, this should be them tying this game up. But Disrupt could pull out something absolutely bonkers. However,
stack
unlikely
up.
that could be.
Yeah, mid. Give yourself a chance with a 4-man stack. I do think this is nice, and there's 2 flashes that Sabi is going to be setting up, looking for contact, or rather, I think more audio cues than anything is what's going to cue Sabi up for these flashes. I really love this. I actually noticed this in the Tuesday game too. This is going to end up being perfect though. Emotionless, make no audio cues, make no noise whatsoever. So Sabi never going to get the inclination to throw those flashbangs. Now they just go on a timing. Hope to see nothing spotted. I'm gonna get things out. I was gonna say, I think something I really liked from Disrupt is their capability to kind of throw a gimmick in on one of these types of rounds where there's not a lot going for you. You don't have a lot of opportunity. Try something. That's usually the way I see it, and I think that
I've read the read.
a couple of those correct.
Right, and now they've gotten 2 kills. This is a round that's already flipped on its head a little bit here. 2 kills immediately go the way of Disrupt and some chaos into the round. 40 seconds left. Sure, there's plenty of time to rotate, but now there's a lot of pressure on to make these rotations come through. And Bronix, what a tap with the P250, confirms the kill to Ganter, and that's a rifle that can be recovered extra. 5 versus 2 now. The only player onto the site with 20 seconds remaining is BlazeHop. This is still a winnable round. There's no body armor here for Disrupt.
No smokes.
No smokes. Bomb committed now. Here comes the push. Wham on the swing. Exclusive miss the AWP. It's BlazeHop in a 1 versus 5. Gets 2 down. Drops the flashbang, but now Molotov's out of position. Bomb will be stuck by Sabi. Looks like in the meantime, KRS holding with that AWP and Bronix on the swing. Bomb still being stuck. Sabi just holding for that 10-second. KRS can take the shot and does. Right as Sabi gets the defuse through. Emotionless. That is going to hurt as Disrupt. What a round. They pulled the rabbit out the hat in a big way.
How about another defuse too? When you're talking about how consistent retakes have been, obviously that one not the norm. Given the chance to have a 5-on-2 and a post plant retake scenario on an eco round, no armor, really no investments. It's those 2 flashes and a single P250. Disrupt do it all. Really smart. And that is why you have a couple of those gimmicks, Connor. That's why you have to have one of those in your playbook. If you can do that, you give yourself a chance to win a round that should never be won, that should be nowhere close to victory, and they pull one out instead. That is beautiful stuff. Playbooks like that is what can win you games, even if you have a sub. And that's what we just saw from Disrupt.
And especially in a game like Counter-Strike where mental is half the game, right? If you start just kind of beating down on your opponent mentally where you're just winning rounds like that, you're going to start to break some of the confidence there. And that's where, you can start to see some of the cracks sometimes. Now, obviously, Emotionless, I don't think they're going to be hurting too badly after that. It's going to be about, picking this up on the next one, right? But for now, we do have a bit of a technical pause. Bronix has unfortunately been disconnected from the game. Maybe a quick restart there after that one, but overall, Disrupt stealing that away is a bonkers move. Oh, we've even lost AVN as well. And Wham. What's happening? What?
Guys,
the dominoes are falling.
Sabi, tell us what's happened. Maybe everybody just giving it a restart. Could be like a loss issue. That's usually the type of thing that would facilitate that. But yeah, a pretty brutal loss for Emotionless just in general.
I mean, and look at what they've had to just kind of scrounge up here in this next round. They're missing. Oh,
Dude,
we're losing players of
dropping like
Emotionless too. They're dropping. Okay, we have some players back on Disrupt, but you know, to lose out on that, now you don't have enough money for an AWP. You're forced to play the rifles. You're having to sacrifice on utility as well. It's gonna make things considerably more difficult.
I think we're gonna need a round reset here.
I think we're gonna need a match medic. Given that Blaze Hop got disconnected after the purchase.
Yo, say that he's got armor and he didn't spend any extra money, so maybe we already.
Maybe it already.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I didn't see it, but I was thinking the same thing as you. But he seems to have the maybe correct amount of money.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it looks like we're going on business as usual. I mean, oh, there's the pause.
JK.
We're just kidding. We're a bunch of little jokers here.
A little yokester.
You can hear it. There's a lot of typing going on.
Yeah, I think we're big chilling. We gotta get the match medic in here. Probably just waiting on an admin to make that happen. So in the meantime, hope everyone's doing well.
There we go. There's that match medic. Yeah. I would hope everyone's doing well. You always want everyone to be doing well, right?
No, me personally,
Me
I
personally,
hope you're
I'm
having
a
an awful
hater.
day.
Me personally, I hope both sides of your pillow are warm.
That is maybe the funniest insult ever. I really love that one.
It's great.
Another quality one is I hope you stub your toe on cooldown.
Oh. Ooh.
I know. That's crazy. I said it for memes and banter, Your Honor. It wasn't intentional.
Your Honor, I said it
didn't
would
for
only
real
happen
mean
in
it.
Minecraft.
That is I'm pretty sure that's a legal defense that's never failed, actually.
I can't say it's ever failed.
I've never seen it fail
I've never seen it
personally,
fail.
which means it's never happened ever.
Just those
We're
things where someone's like, this does not look good on paper, and there's just the FBI in their kitchen. Print out of what
Cue
they
the
said.
FBI open up. Audio. We don't have that technology, sorry folks.
Yeah, we don't.
That's also really loud, so it'd probably.
Oh
probably
yeah,
fast.
that is very loud.
You were just waiting on AVN here, and then we're gonna be back into the business. But this has been a serious roller coaster. These first 6 rounds.
This has been an up and down for 6 rounds.
I mean, to just like take you on the ups and downs, right? It's a man advantage or rather man disadvantage retake on round 1 for Disrupt. Comes in round 2 is a force buy. Looks like it's going to be going easy enough. Ends up in a success. Round 3, it's just deagles it, and that's almost a win. It takes some shenanigans, we'll just call it, from Wham. Only for round 6 to be an entire eco win in the favor of Disrupt. Like 4 USPs, a P250, and 2 flashbangs. Type of eco.
Not more than everyone's gone. Maybe they reset the server here. Let's bring things back over. We're gonna bring things back over to us real quick on the booth as we kind of investigate what's going on here. Maybe they did.
Yeah, it looks like a server change.
Yeah, it does seem like that is the likely choice. So I'll just quickly try and get reconnected up, and then we'll be back in just a moment. So
yeah, I think we had a server change right at the beginning of the game too, before we jumped in. So maybe just having some carryovers of issues from that.
Some of the struggle bus is still being ridden there with those server issues. You will see.
Hey, listen, face it, you and me, we have beef. Better watch yourself.
We got beef here.
You
Alright.
face it. We used to get along nicely. Now,
Listen, I used to love them, and then like towards the end of Go, they brought in Playcast, and I was like, nah. I was like, get it out of here.
Get him out.
I was like, get it out. All right, does look like we are ready to get back into the game here. We have
Let's go.
we're back in. The match has been medicked, and it is
The
currently
server
sitting at
has
4-2.
been.
Server has been changed.
Yep. And we're on pause. Beautiful stuff.
There we go.
Apologies for the delay. I'll jump right back into things. Yeah, big round. I think in specifically for Emotionless, obviously they need to try and bounce back from that loss. Their economy on a knife's edge, but I mean it's a big chance for Disrupt to basically pick up where they left off in the first 3 rounds.
Both sides don't look particularly flush with economy, but Disrupt are coming out the better end of that one, that deal, just given the fact that KRS and Savvy both are around $3,000 each to try and work with here. Now, Disrupt, they've gone for a pretty heavy setup towards that A bomb site in KRS. Oh, it's a bit of a team kill from Gander as well. The USP won't be enough for KRS to stay alive on the site, and Blonix is under a bit of pressure here. Oh, what? Just nails it through the smoke, and that is going to be Disrupt. They finally win a CT round that they don't have to defuse.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a crazy round, too. Just Emotionless trying to find that split. It looks good. Instant kill into AVN, and there's more to be done, but, I mean, ends up working well. KRS gets their one, does enough damage that Ganser TKs his teammate. Oh, and Emotionless lose out because of it. Aren't able to scale fast enough. Off gets onto the site. And this one's an eco.
Oh, yeah.
For some speed up B.
Like Lightning McQueen, they are speed, but Wham has got the fire. Takes down 2 already. Savvy with a kill of his own. That's 3 dead already for Emotionless. The Tech 9 at range. Ganter will at least get that 1. But the bullets are just hailing down, and Ganter, what more do you have for us here? It's not going to be much. Bronix takes it down with the USP and confirms the round in favor of Disrupt.
I mean, Bronix subbing in today is looking damn good.
Good, yeah. I can't say I've had any complaints. He's played very well. He's been pretty utilitarian. You know, we've seen him playing on the rifles. He's now on the AWP as well. It's been looking good for Bronix.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering how this would go. I guess we can ask afterward in the interview if Bronix is, you know, by trade an op or just picking it up because Plan obviously the primary. Gun around coming in for Emotionless. That Tech 9 buy didn't get them anywhere.
They hoped it would have, though. They hoped it would have gotten them somewhere. Although, AVN's found the opener in mid. Ganter's gone down a lot of mid. That's going to be a bit of a monkey wrench into Emotionless's plans, as you can't really comfortably go for the mid control at that point.
Yeah, there's been a lot of timing for Emotionless out mid. They've pretty consistently put someone there or tried to get out late, but it's usually not on the first timing. And in addition to that, by the time they start to take those duels, Disrupt has given up that space. That's tended to be the way it goes down. This time they go a little earlier and Disrupt is still ready to fight. Shows Blaze Hop a lot of damage alongside that kill onto Ganser. Don't know exactly where this is going, to be honest with you. Bomb's just been recovered. It's outside of A, but there's plenty of time to still go anywhere they want. Emotionless going to be taking mid control. And this time it's about the same as usual. They see nothing. Gonna link up with the rest of the team outside of B and go that way.
Interesting that they do just kind of throw that lone fake smoke out towards the A site, and they don't really have any extra utility to kind of back it up. Will swing around, does get the first on Wham, and actually follows it up to Savvy as well. That's a brilliant double kill of Exclusive. Continuing on the hot streak that he had to start this game off here for Emotionless, but AVN will shut that down. A bomb plant will at least be going down in the last 10 seconds. Now we'll see about the retake. Bronix will take some damage, but 12 PE gets 1. Bronix with the Molotov finishes off Blaze Hop, and Disrupts, again, takes themselves another retake.
Yeah, I mean, 4 kills, though, total for AVN's a huge impact that he's had. Obviously, over in mid, did a lot of damage, got out, playing deeper into the site. So the fact that Emotionless can get a double entry into Cave and not have the site and not have a win on that round is pretty brutal. Disrupt recovering from it because they already had so many advantages. It's now been 4 straight round victories for Disrupt. It started with that eco win.
And
An
I'm talking about
Emotionless.
value for getting that eco win.
True that. Hoping for more. It's a little bit light on utility, but they've still got rifles.
So long as they keep the smokes in their hand, they should at least be able to set themselves up for a well-placed execute. It looks like the direction is towards the A site, obviously, by the early placement. But we do have 322 God just kind of chilling over at the B bomb site, just kind of playing a bit of a lurk on the outside. Haven't been able to see much of this player throughout the map so far. Ultimately, been playing a lot of the entries and just kind of getting shut down for it currently, but could have an opportunity here and now as there's going to be a double push through ramp. Sabby, and it's going to be actually exclusive behind him that takes both kills. But things are set up well now for the B-bomb site. AVN's got a lot of work to do here on the M4. He gets straight through the Khalil. Oh no!
Dropping that smoke is an audio cue. That's why it's so perfect. Dancer closes and Emotionless finding some perfect timing. Exclusive stealing away those kills, but either way, Disrupt, the push down ramp was being watched. So regardless of who claims them, it's still set up for success. But Emotionless, now they look to, make a little bit of a recovery. I think 4 or 5 rounds got to be the target here. Could be just fine if it's 4 rounds. 5 would be huge.
Disrupt, wish they would have gone for something a little bit more set up in terms of that ramp play. Maybe just have that one flashbang set up just to make sure the angle's going to be cleared out before you go for that swing, or at least catch someone blind as you're going for it. Fortunately there, what's done is done, and now we have to deal with the results of it. Disrupt, though, do lose AVN in the early round to the AWP exclusive, continuing on. And with that, Emotionless are going to set things up straight up for the A site. Bronix will be backing away towards CT, going to pick up some leftover utility. But currently, he's been left alone to defend this site all by himself.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty normal setup. The problem for Bronix is he's got to deal with both mid and A at the same time here. That's a gap that he needs to mind, and he's going to favor mid as opposed to A because that's the most important thing. That's where, Disrupt are going to be rotating in. Utility flying. It's too little too late. Honestly, a save is not a bad call here for Disrupt. If they just want to hold off, walk away, I wouldn't hate it. I think that's what they're doing.
And I mean, it's definitely the smart move given the money that they do have, right? AVN not looking too bad, 1,700. Bronix is at 3,800. You keep Bronix alive, he can drop over the M4, and AVN can just buy up whatever he needs to with armor and utility after that. So this is a very good move from Disrupt. They just want to keep the economy in check and make sure they can try and notch in that 8th round before switching sides here. But I did like the play from Emotionless. I mean, they took that mid kill early. Exclusive hadn't really been playing super aggressive at mid with the AWP in the early round. And, they popped the smoke. They just try and they disrupt the play set up by Disrupt. And terrorists win. Well for him.
He'll take it. It's certainly a huge asset having Exclusive on the op and doing what he's been doing. 2 rounds in a row. But Disrupt maintaining, ensuring that they get a full buy in round 12. Based on that, they're going to get Bronix and op as well into the mix. This is only the, I think, 3rd time he's had it. Going to set him up over at A. That's the plan.
Not a bad move. And they're actually getting a bit extra aggressive through as well. Avian's deep into A main. Now, they did play this during one of their ecos and just kind of having someone pushed up through A main, but this is one of their full rifle runs, and AVN has been that sort of B rotator, so it's going to fall onto KRS's shoulders as this B hit does come through. Some reload from Sabby, though. Well placed. Arrow rotating in. That's already Wham onto 2 kills. Sabby is there to find Blazeoff, and that's 3 dead here for Emotionless. Big trouble here in the round now as they're down on a 2 versus 5 exclusive. They get boosted up to the box. Try and do what he can. Ronix is applying the pressure from mid.
It's just a one-dimensional hit from Emotionless. There's just not a lot of punch behind it. Obviously, they have this utility set up, but they have to break through a smoke of their own. And with KRS ready to throw supported flashbangs, 2 on the pillar, like that is just not a fight that you're gonna win very often. 12 PE. He's gonna manufacture 1 return frag, but Sabi still here. Exclusive holding the line. He's eventually just gonna have to commit. Too many angles to hold. And it is going to be 8-4 Disrupt with a very successful CT half.
Very successful indeed. You were maybe starting to have a little bit of questions. Maybe go, okay, can Emotionless just kind of carry themselves through it after those couple rounds that they did win? But once Disrupt picked up the eco, that seemed to really halt Emotionless's momentum throughout their T side and allowed Disrupt to just kind of charge on forward. They, they got those 4 rounds in a row. Sorry. And they look great doing it as they just kind of get going. Now they're onto the T side.
T side that typically going to be a little bit more difficult on this map. So I said Emotionless, 4 rounds. I wouldn't say it's an incredible T side, but it's certainly not bad. Utility, but doesn't stop things. AVN gets a couple of looking with the other wrong way, but he doesn't get any kills. Sabi with a double. Ronix going to have to make the next move. They're all long, which is going to be a big surprise for Disrupt.
Oh, Ganter, perfect timing on the peek back as well. There was a timing there that could have gone Bronix's way, but unfortunately doesn't. It's all up to Sabi. Needs a 1 versus 3 ace clutch here. And that smoke's just gone down in front of him. Dualies have at least been recovered. Only 11 bullets though in the magazine. So he's going to get a reload in before continuing on. But 50 seconds for Sabi to try and isolate 3 1v1s with an Emotionless that are all grouped together. That's going to be a tall task.
And all surrounding this bomb as well. There's a more free time that. Well, that's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I'm saying. Emotionless handling it pretty easily. Some missed opportunities, I feel, for Disrupt. Right, AVN had a chance to really do a lot there. Couldn't quite make it work. There is a moment where I think if he gets a little bit more success, there's probably more of a chance. I think that's the one opening that was missed, but otherwise, it's Emotionless doing a great job. Quicker on the rotate. Had a nice setup on B to begin with. Their decision to fight for ramp as a duo instead of sitting on the site, also a good one. It's Disrupt to take a tack pause, and during that tack pause, Bronix actually gets a reconnect then. No tech. They just keep it moving. It's going to be kept simple with very limited investments on the Disrupt angle.
I've seen both sides taking a pistol round on their CT side here. Will Emotionless be able to carry that forward, though? The question. Disrupt. They've shown they've got some gimmicks to work with on the ecos. Sabi does have a deagle and the pistol. Interesting choice there on an eco to have the Desert Eagle out, but still work to get those headshots, obviously.
Nothing seen just yet. Approaching the 1 minute mark. Disruptor, all quiet on every front. It's about to change. God, ready to fight. He gets dinked up. They're gonna disrespect that. It's injury. The smoke down there. 12 PE. It's a little dangerous, but thankfully not too bad. Sabi hits another shot, and that should be a bomb plant. He's got to recover the bomb though. He's still got a chance at this 1v2. The fact that the bomb was dropped there in cave is what makes it so he doesn't get a bomb plant, but still, damage is good for what it was.
I don't know. I mean, they got 3 kills out of it. Disrupt, in a round that they mostly had Glocks with that Desert Eagle purchase. Sabby got a lot of value for that Desert Eagle purchase as well, and it made it very worthwhile for Disrupt to have gone for it. And now they're back into a full buy here, at least for the most part. We do see AVN has dropped down to the Galil to afford more of that utility, so we can have the Mollies, the nades, and all the fixins there. Disrupt, though, that's the squad. They're going to have AK-47 to work with the headshot machines. Wham is already deep in towards game. 3 gun. Deploy a smoke to drop things. Block these off from Jaguar.
Of course. Disrupt doing a pretty good job of making Emotionless very uncomfortable with their mid-fight. So I think that's the right way to approach things. They have to give that up eventually. You can't hold on to that. It's just a matter of when those elbow smokes fall back. God, oh my gosh,
beautiful.
they've lined up for Sabi. That's incredible. Another double with Sabi. It's continued what we saw back on Inferno on Tuesday. Bomb plant certainly guaranteed. Wham, another, and Sabi for 3. Emotionless. I mean, it all falls almost at the same time, Connor. Disrupt are going to get on the board their first T round.
And they get on at a perfect time as well. Emotionless. Don't have a lot of money to really work with, especially after how that eco went. And so, for Ganter, at the highest money, $2,100, gonna get $1,400 in loss bonus here. Could at least drop over a rifle. I think Emotionless, their best bet might just be to try and go for a force buy back here, but then you're kind of playing up against Disrupt possibly getting double digits. So there's a lot of question marks here for Emotionless to try and answer here in this next round.
I do think, though, that, that's a really good proof of concept as well for Disrupt. The methodical nature of the way that they win that round. Obviously, Sabi with the double kill there is huge. There's a lot of individuality, to go with it, but more the way they approach kind of pushing back Emotionless' mid control, where they take the next step, execute towards B. There's a good speed with it. It catches Emotionless a little bit off guard. That's why Sabi's able to get that double kill. It's a really important victory. Emotionless taking attack pause. They need to, try to ensure that's only going to be a one-time deal. The problem is that their economy really doesn't allow for them to have much of a threat this round. It's 2 rifles, upgraded pistols, lots of utility, though, for the amount of firepower that they've got.
Now, with the amount of flashbangs that they do have, they can try and set each other up to go for those flash peaks and just kind of, really make things messy here for Disrupt as they want to try and get a clean round here. Their economy is in a bit of a rough state as well. They're trying to build up into this half, and winning that round they did does at least help, as multiple players are over $2,000. But they want to win this next round in a good state, and Savvy immediately takes down Exclusive. That's one of the rifles already on here, and that's a big problem here for Emotionless.
Yeah, and there's no way to recover that either. So as much as BlazeHop is swinging back in, he actually is going to get across. He's going to get a way to find this. There's going to be more threats. At least he was. Still not able to recover that weapon. BlazeHop drop a nade on their head. It's damage, but it's not a victory. Meantime, bomb gets planted, and there's nothing Emotionless can do.
This is about saving the armor at this point, saving these pistols, bringing that forward into the next round, and trying to see what you can scrounge up after that Disrupt. They are going to be confirming double digits here in the half. That's going to be 10 rounds now on the board for them. 3 away from that coveted 13 rounds. Emotionless. Bringing forward the M4 is at least going to help them pretty significantly, at least in terms of having the more capability for the long-range duels. But up against 5 rifles, it's going to be a small task here. Going to keep it in the hands of Ganter for the time being.
At least maintaining that. Still, that double-digit note is a pretty big one. It's kind of a reality check a lot of times. to see that 1-0 up at the top, especially if you're on the Emotionless side. Eco surrounding this M4 and 2 saved pistols. Gonna get the M4 escalated inside of A main. Pretty early contact over at B too. That's gonna force out the smoke. Those limited resources. Keep an eye on those. Keep an eye on this. Maybe in. Yeah, it's a little bit of a scary duel. But the fact that Ganter trades pretty important.
Pretty important, but it does show that Disrupt and Emotionless, they're both kind of testing the waters here, trying to see what the other has. Important for Disrupt to kind of read the opponent what they've got. Bronix, whoa! Decapitates his own teammate. KRS finds Blaze Hop through the smoke, though, at the very least. A little bit of decapitation there on the Sabby is a bit unfortunate, but a bomb plant has at least gone down. Ganter and Exclusive, a chance to retake this one. But it's going to rely heavily on Ganter. It gets boosted up, but Bronix immediately shuts it down. Exclusive gets the first.
Has a kit there too.
Molotov will just delay things though, and Wham is already right there in the smoke. Oh, but Exclusive pushed through it. Snap on that bomb, and there's KRS through the wall. Just wall bangs it out. Dropped onto an 11th round, but Emotionless will be back into a purchase here.
They are, but man, is the money not good. Like, it is everybody who can barely afford an M4 and armor. So, you know, a couple of, in fact, 3 FAMASs have to be purchased just to get, you know, get the utility. This is the right decision for Emotionless. And as a staunch FAMAS defender myself, I'm not sad at all, but certainly not ideal. Not going to include the exclusive op either.
FAMAS does get a pretty bad rap for a lot of people, but hey, it is still a capable rifle, especially after some of the buffs that it's received over the last couple of years. And finding more of its value and place in Counter-Strike. Yeah, like you said, this is a good purchase from Emotionless, even if they have had to sacrifice on the rifles.
I mean, but look at how much of a sacrifice it really is for the utility. Even though they did everything they could to get the max, they're basically out right now. They've got a smoke and 2 incendiaries. That's it.
You're going to want to hold on to those incendiaries if you can, but there's only 1 kit as well for Emotionless, so if this does go to a bomb plant and they have to go for the retake, they have to keep an eye on where 322 God is with that kit. That's going to be one of the most important pieces to kind of think about here.
He's hanging out in cave right now.
Disruptor going for the A site. Here comes the push. Exclusive. Turns from the flash and takes down 2. KRS on the creep. Doesn't know where to look for Exclusive, who gets a 3-piece in the round. Now for Disrupt, a bomb plant can at least be possible here. Sabby holding the close angle. 322 God, that's the kit down. There's a follow-up. Sabby gets 2. But it's 12 PE on the FAMAS. AK versus FAMAS. You know what you would rather take? In the 1 versus 1, Sabby's got the ammo, but 12 PE has the kill. And the kit, it's going to be a defuse coming out in Emotionless. They do pick up their 7th round, and they keep Disrupt off match point.
The pain that is there in just a miscommunication. They don't quite track down where the bullets are flying in from. It's from big box, and they don't know. Exclusive gets free firing off on 3 different individuals. Nobody even looking for a trade at any point. Too worried about anything and everything else on the site. That is a huge double, turn triple for Exclusive. Keeps Disrupt back, but Disrupt is going to change his pace up a little bit.
Ooh, they're going
Instant
for
CT
it.
smoke. They're going for this quick A punch.
Punch their way straight to the site here. Sabby pushing forward. Answer is at least here with a FAMAS, and as he made his way out of Donut and actually does pick up the first. That's going to be a kill coming through. Bullets are just continuing to fly, and they're going the way of Emotionless. That's 2 kills already. KRS at least crosses to the site, and a bomb plant's going to be at least tapped. Try and fade out from the Bronix takes down 2 in the meantime. And that's
The
a
CT players?
322 God gets 1, and now it's a 2 versus 2, but Bronix.
Great move.
Damn, this is a great play.
They're so quick. They're just never going to anticipate that this is fully the way in which they commit. The smoke is up too, so their exit strategy is covered. Emotionless on the hunt in the same vein as they follow in the footsteps of Disrupt only moments before. Bronix is going to stick in the house. This is an ambitious move
so
because
good.
he's now isolated. Meantime, Wham punches in the numbers. The question, does Bronix save this or take the first fight? Fight he does. Now Wham comes back to look, but still separated. Time of the essence without a kit for Ganter.
Ganter is low on the HP as well. 22 health to work with. Wham. He's at least aware that it's going to be from CT. Shadow gets the headshot and Disrupt put themselves on match point here, 12-7. The A punch, it got messy, it got bloody. Ganter was holding on his own there to take down 2, but eventually Disrupt, they find the kills they need to allow themselves to slow things down and play the methodical approach. There we go. Goodness, words are hard. As they're able to just kind of slow things down, they walk it through CT, they get that B control, and they reset the situation.
I mean, that's a magical 3v5 recovery, too. Shout out to Bronix, who does so much of the heavy lifting. Looking like Disrupt might have the kill shot in this one. Lacking in a whole lot of departments are Emotionless. Emotions probably running high, opposite of their name, after the loss like that in a 2-on-2 from the advantage they had. Disrupt getting B lane control, finding themselves basically nothing over there. Double up in Cave side, but there's plenty of T's in the vicinity. Disrupt want to fight that.
And I think this is kind of showcasing very different sets here in terms of these teams' approaches to Counter-Strike, right? For Emotionless, it feels like this is very much relied on individuals making the team better, whereas for Disrupt, it's been fundamentals, individuals making the team better, whereas for Disrupt, it's been the fundamentals making the individuals better there, right? They have done a very great job at just sort of the team play, playing off of each other, and things have worked brilliantly for them in so many of these situations, because they were able to account for so much with it. Sure, they've had some slip-ups here and there. That round where Exclusive got the 3-piece on A. The miscommunication. That, of course, is going to happen, as with anything in Counter-Strike. But the fundamentals that Disruptive displayed just in this game alone, and just being able to play off each other, has worked brilliantly to put themselves in this position. 13-7, and ending that game on a 5-1 run. Disrupt dominate there on Ancient.
Yes, they do. I mean, top to bottom, I feel like Disrupt, they had control of this game. There was never a moment where they were not in control. And on an individual level, talking about, who stepped up, right? Bronix had that incredible moment in, to get them around 12. He's standing in today. That's a huge asset to have somebody who's able to step in for that. Sabi continuing to show that, he's very capable of having that type of performance that we saw, just a couple of days ago. And Wham, I mean, having a really great game as well. There's just a lot of depth in this victory for me from what Disrupt just put on display.
Yeah, absolutely. If Wham and AVN were a great duo towards that B bomb site. That they worked really well, especially on the CT side, and they continue to deliver on that T side. But now that the game's over, we do have a bit of a post-game interview coming up. We're going to be getting Sabby, the Mr. IGL of the squad. So we're going to throw things to a short break, bring him back in here, and get that set up. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I was out of my mind, you were killing me inside. Yeah, I know the truth. I know it's that I think of you, I'm losing sleep. I don't know what it is you do. The moment that you walked into my life, I started to fall head to toe for you. No, I just can't get over all the games we played. I lose myself in your abuse. You split my heart in two.
take long, but we are back. And joining us off camera in the call, though, is Sabby, Mr. IGL of the squad, who joins after what was a very good look from Disrupt here, taking that 13-7 up against Emotionless. How you feeling, my man?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Feeling great. Better than last time.
I obviously, it's awesome to get a W here. I want to ask a couple of questions about the game, but I want to start a little bit more general because obviously you guys have a sub today. Bronix comes in, played really well, just for the record. But I wanted to ask first, like, what the mindset's got to be like. How do you handle a situation where you're missing a big piece of your squad and you have a substitute? What's the mindset like? How do you deal with that?
So obviously we kind of have to play more of a puggy style since Bronix does not know the depth or like every in and out of what we usually do and how we usually play together. So I'd say that the style changed a little bit, maybe a bit more relaxed and a bit more loose, and I think that gave us the edge as well.
In what way? What is it about like being a little bit more loose than maybe you were intending to play or normally would play that helped you guys step up? Because to be honest with you, like the details in like the protocols, obviously your retakes, those looked really tight, looked really good.
Yeah, I think that comes down to the comms. We talked a lot about. We had a long discussion after last game about our communication, and that's something that we really focused on the past few days, or since the last game rather. And I think that just clicked really well today. I think in general that was the main key point of our CT side today. Our communication, grouping up for retakes and stuff. I think today was that's how it's supposed to be. But last time around we it just wasn't there.
And I mean, kind of something to kind of bouncing off that one is roles, obviously, right? With Flan missing, you are missing that just kind of main op role that you have been having, so far. And with integrating Bronix, obviously you're playing that looser style, but it seems that Bronix did slot into the same roles as Bronix offered by trade, or is this just kind of picking up the op just in lieu of Flan being gone?
It's just picking up the up because Flan is gone. I think Bronix is an excellent rifler and he felt confident on CT side and he decided to pick up the up. I mean Flan is usually going towards A with that up anyway, so Bronix felt comfortable with doing that, so that worked out. That worked out well for us.
Yeah, I guess to kind of shift focus here, you guys ended up talked about the retakes a lot, talking about that communication and whatnot. But then onto the T side, there was some moments where things weren't exactly perfect, but you got into the rhythm of things. After a couple of rounds, the pistol notwithstanding, and kind of can you talk a little bit about where your game plan is on that T side? Because I think things that you did particularly well was very impressed with how you contained mid control. Let Emotionless take mid if they wanted, or at least be aggressive early, but ensure that you could fight from B, if need be. Kind of what's y'all's game plan generally with that? Is that the intention?
Yeah, that is exactly the intention. We like to let them do whatever they want in mid. Use up all their util, let them think they have it, and then when it's uncomfortable for them, they don't see us. They kind of have to fall back, and that's when we sneak up and do our thing in mid and take the free space, free real estate as I call it.
Fair enough. I love it. Yeah, I mean I was impressed by that. I think he ended up doing a great job of that. I guess now looking at how effective things were, you individually continuing to have some really big performances, multi kills as well, and on the T side especially, I was really impressed. Do you intend to be in this case? You ended up getting a lot of openers. Is that in the intention? Is that what you tend to try to do?
Man, I'm just there if I need to be there. Today was that type of day. I was feeling it. I was taking the entries, especially in cave. I felt it, man. I went for the heads. But usually we do have wham on those type of positions. But today I was just like, man, I'm gonna just go and kill them.
I mean, kill him he did. I mean, great performance overall throughout that game. Both sides. I think there was a lot of highlights for you all there. But I feel like if we're gonna get into really nitty gritty specifics, we have to talk about that round 6, the eco round. You were on a team with four USPs, a P250, and two flashbangs, and you come out on top of that round. I mean, where did you dream up of this wonderful play that you guys pulled off there on that round?
I have no idea how we won that round. I think that round almost single-handedly gave us the keys to the game. You shouldn't lose those, right? And they overcommitted on long. We took their guns and went together. We stuck together as 5 people. We just punished their mistakes simply.
I was noticing even in that Inferno game, you guys have a couple of what I call them as gimmicks, right? Like just eco gimmicky type plays where there's something to set up just a little bit, and there's always going to be a chance. Is that something that you focus on, like having a couple of those in the playbook on every map?
Yeah, I think that's really important. Because I mean, as today turned out, we won the round, so it paid off, right? So it's nothing crazy, but I think if you manage to win some of those rounds from time to time, it's just keeps everyone happy. Everyone dreams of winning that round with 4 USBs, one P250, and 2 flashes. I mean, come on, they had full buys and AKs.
It's always the rounds that you're like, who won it? I don't know. It's the other team, huh?
Yeah.
But obviously this is a game, a lot of great individual performance. I mean, we talked about you specifically. You had a really great game overall, but this is obviously it's a team effort though, and there were some really great individual moments coming out, especially from players like Wham, Bronix, AVN. Are there any players here that you would specifically just be looking at and just going, they did an exemplary job just throughout this entire day?
Oh, I think a huge shout out to Bronix. We haven't
Yeah,
played
that's fair.
barely anything, 0 to none with him before this. Barely talked to the guy, and he just shows up and understands the game plan and understands what he needs to do, and he executes it. I mean, kudos to him.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Well, Sabby, it's been great talking to you. Of course, you're obviously great to talk to about the games like this, but I think it's time to just kind of closely let you get on and out of your way here. Enjoy the rest of your night. So before we let you go, any final words you want to bestow upon us before we go?
Nah, same as last time. A huge thank you to you and to Team Disrupt for making this happen.
Awesome. All right, thank you very much, man, and congratulations
Thank
on
you.
the win night. We'll see you next week.
Thank you so much. See you next week.
All right, sending Sabby on his way. Thank you very much once again for dropping in. Great interview as always. And Vincent, bit of a different ending this time. They got the win. They're winning at 13-7, looking good. And hey, it's time for us to close it out on a bit of a happy note.
Yeah, listen, I love to see the improvement there, and I really loved specifically hearing about Sabi talking. Hey, like he was highlighting in our interview on the loss on Tuesday, our communication just isn't there. And to be fair, right, he was talking that like communication is definitely something that we're aware of, but it's about shifting and changing communication into English. Everybody, that's not always going to be easy. And so I think that it's really cool to see that like work out and be a huge asset just literally in the next game. It's why it's so important to see those things that you focus on, and to see them improve so quickly. It's beautiful stuff. Come in with a sub as well, and show them who's boss. Love it.
Yeah, I mean, love it. I think Sabby said they're 4 players speaking Swedish or something, and now they're kind of having to make that transition to English. And for that kind of second, third game that they're really having to make that work, they did a fantastic job. Very few moments would I be saying that something genuinely did go wrong, or there was a miscommunication, or just something didn't quite click. And everything did go very well for them. But that is going to wrap things up here tonight at the very least. But the season's not over, obviously. We're only 4 games into however many we've got left in the season. I think 12. 10 more games I think left in the season now, and they're going to be coming back on Tuesday for a game up against Foxen. So same time, of course, but that is when you guys are going to be seeing Disrupt up again next. But until then, we'll see you all next time around. Thank you all very much for tuning in and watching. It's been a great time as always. We'll see you all next time. Peace out.